talk about love. This is giving Ashley Simpson. It's giving Coachella. So yeah, if you want to try this Luxus that's inspired by this happy jersey, this crusty ass happy jersey, um continue watching. So if you want to look better than how you feel, continue watching. Let's talk. I hope that this becomes a safe space for us to share. I'm not saying now let's come here and cry together, have a kumbaya moment, but if you're going through something and you want to talk, we're always here. Let's create a safe space to share and not feel judged at all, ever, whatsoever. Never, ever, ever. Not here, not with your friend. So yeah, come on this ride with me. Click down below, subscribe, comment, share, for whoever may be feeling some type of way and just wants to have a safe space to share their thoughts and their feelings. Welcome home. It's Auntie Fran. So yeah guys, this video is gonna be a trigger warning. There's gonna be trigger warnings. I don't want to trigger you. I don't want to be that cousin that triggers you with their emotional baggage. If you want to share, come closer and let's talk and let's create a safe space where we grow together and come up with ideas of how we get ourselves out of this economical struggle. You see me, girl. You see me. Name Bobo. Imagine. Let's keep it real. Okay, so yeah, I'm just using an old mascara wand to clean up my brows, shape them up. I like the whole natural brow. So I had previously recorded this video. I'm going to be using dried up liquid liner just to flay out my brows a bit. So I had previously recorded this video and it didn't turn out like I wanted, so I'm re-recording it. This video basically is quite a tough topic for me to talk about, as this is something that I have been struggling with, mental health issues, for a very long time. It's not something that just came about now. So anyway, I'm using Wet n Wild foundation in Mocha and just using it to shape my brows. So basically I was supposed to leave for China last year, no, 2018, right? 2018, no, 2019. I was supposed to leave for China, and then the disease and the virus that we shall not name occurred, right? So when that occurred, I somewhat just struggled with accepting the fact that something that I had worked towards and I wanted since I was a child was not gonna happen anytime soon. And it was really a struggle for me because I had worked so hard through very terrible circumstances, from financial to trauma, and catapulted myself to a position where I got my degree. To some people that's like nothing, but with the circumstances that I was in during my exams, like my father was in ICU and basically he was on life support. So I managed, I passed even modules that I had been struggling with, like mathematics. I'm not really a mathematical person. So I finished. So I'm going to be using, I don't know if you can see that, I'm going to be using Juke. So I finished, and I'm using it as a moisturizer and a primer, because especially under the eyes can become very dry. So yeah, I finished and got my degree, and I was self-studying. I was at UNISA, so you can only imagine how hard that was as well. So yeah, I managed to finish my degree, uh, not in record time, obviously, because of financial issues and the things that I and my family were dealing with, my family and I were dealing with. So yeah, I had then graduated and started applying to go work overseas. At that time, was I in a relationship with my partner? I think I was, but we were just going through some stuff. So when I left, when I was planning to leave, we weren't together anymore. Let me just moisturize my hands, they're so dry. Yeah, I don't want to make this video very long. And then I managed to finish and started the process and got the job with quite a reputable institution in China. Next. Yeah, it's next. And yeah, so I was in preparation to leave, and everything was packed and waiting at the door, basically. Everything just felt like it was working so well. My mother was going to be living in a better place, and with my nephew and niece and all that good stuff. So then what had happened was, came about, and I then stayed, and with the hopes that everything was going to be okay in due time, only to realize we are 2 years in now and we are still facing the same pandemic. And it's just been a very hard time. I'm actually glad I'm doing this video now, because I was in such a wreck when I was doing this, because it was at the peak of my, I would say, episode, because I am a person who suffers from the D word and anxiety, so I really struggled with accepting the situation for what it was, because I worked so hard through like the worst loss and the trauma of all of that, and then here I was now faced with a situation of rejection and feeling like disappointed in everything and questioning so much. And yeah, so for me, it has been a struggle for the past couple of months now, realizing that first of all, there's no jobs in the country for teachers who are self-funded. I don't know, that's a topic for another day, what the situation is and when it's going to get better. So yeah, obviously I made that choice of moving to China because of the situation that a lot of self-funded people who weren't on bursaries or any type of government funding like that were facing. I'm not the only one, and I wasn't the only one. So it seems right now we're all pretty stuck. You know what I mean? I had to do a lot of introspection, which I still am doing. A lot of introspection about what now, what next, what is God's plan for my life, what are the ancestors' plan for my life, because sometimes we may neglect those type of topics with ourselves and within our communities and our families. We do believe in ancestors. As you can see, I'm wearing animal skin is pan. So for me, I'm able to have those conversations with my family, but some people can't because their families don't believe in that, even if they believe in that. I'm going to use a dark foundation, my mom's shade, just to cover up the dark spots. Apparently that's a trick that you can do. And yeah, so I've just been struggling with with mental health issues as I have been in the past. Like, I went through traumatic things growing up, and I struggled with communicating that to my family, my loved ones, and in recent past, I'd had to face that because, incidences occurred on campus even, where my health was compromised, and it was like near-death experiences. So this brought me to a place where I had to look into the situation and ask myself, like, what is meant to happen with my life? I had a lot of questions. I was very angry. I was, wanting to end things a couple of times, many times before even this incident of the virus and me not leaving and fulfilling my dreams, because these were dreams that I had since I was a child. So I'm using Mocha again. So I've been really struggling, and that's why I've been away from the net, and that's why I decided recently to just deactivate my Facebook as well, because on Facebook more especially, I have groups pertaining to going overseas and working overseas. I'm part of those groups, and I was looking forward to it. I had already started looking for accommodation in the province in China where I was going to live, and it's every time I go on there, I'm faced with information about people looking for jobs, information about what's happening with the embassies, the borders, and all of that good stuff. And it's so frustrating because it just sets you back emotionally. It sets me back emotionally, having to deal with those not so great feelings of feeling like not worthy, rejected, not knowing what direction my life is supposed to go in. Like, there's a lot of questions that I don't have answers to. And this situation happening has made me think about the fact that there's a lot of people who are dealing with things they can't really talk to anyone about, or feel like they're not heard. Even if you are communicating with loved ones, only you are in that situation that you are in the sense of that time, that moment. It's your life and it's your feelings. You have to own it, and you can't let somebody else suppress those feelings for you and tell you how you should feel or how you should think. Yes, people can motivate you not to be down and out, but at the end of the day, when you're asleep or when you're home alone, sitting there waiting for the day to end while everybody's at work, that's you. That's on you, and that's on your emotions at that moment. You know what I mean? So with the recent happenings of, fatal endings of people's lives, it shook me because I was at that place, and it scares me to think like how my family would have felt. I feel like the only thing that prevented me from taking a drastic decision about my life, a negative drastic decision, was what would happen to my mom. She had lost so much already in her life, her partners and all of that, her family and all that, because as well in my family, mental health issues have been in our bloodline on both sides of my family. So it wasn't like something that was foreign to me, but it just made me realize that I wouldn't want to put my family through that trauma. That's the only thing that's kept me here. Honestly speaking, it's the only thing that's kept me here and kept me around and prevented me from making stupid decisions. Yeah. And my partner as well. She's so amazing. She's so supportive. I'm so grateful for her because we talk about these things and we're struggling with similar issues. I'm a bit orange. Actually, I've gone lighter. I suspect it's this product, because it does have elements of, what is this, there's something in this glutathione or something, but it's helped with diminishing the dark spots, so I appreciate that. I'm not gonna bash the brand. I'm using cacao. It's nearly done. So anyway, this instance and this incident happening just set me back emotionally, and it made me like feel like, why me, why now, why, I just had so many questions, and I still do have so many questions about why this is happening now. And it's just daily struggle. These past few months have been such a daily struggle, to a point where just waking up and making food have been a struggle. I am a person who struggled with, I'd say, eating disorders. And I recently watched my eldest sister, sent through a sermon for me by a pastor called Stephen Furtick. I can never get his surname right. Sorry for butchering his surname, but it's a sermon about, opportunities missed. Is that sometimes, if not all the times, the opportunities missed are actually, it's about the fact that your life is destined for so much better. Not that we don't know this, but when we're in the moment and we are going through that season of change, it's so hard to accept change. In high school, my principal used to always say, Mrs. Lee, bless her soul, she's still alive, but bless her soul either way, used to say, the most important lesson to learn, ladies, is accepting change. And for me, that has been one of my biggest struggles, and I feel like we all struggle with accepting change. It's nothing new. It's not just me. And the changes have affected me. I'm not gonna lie. They have affected me negatively in such a big way, but also positively, because mentally I have somewhat grown, because I struggled with communicating my feelings, and for the longest time I went through things on my own, because my sisters also left home very early during the time when I needed that guidance and needed people to talk to. They were already moving out the house and going and living their lives. No, they had moved to another country, and at that time things were so different in terms of communication. It's not like now, and I feel like, I thank God, because communication is so much better nowadays. We can like video call and talk. Before, it was so different. When they left, it was MIG 33 times. Can you imagine? There wasn't even WhatsApp. So communicating for me about my feelings and my struggle has always been quite the issue. I have really struggled with dealing with that, and mastering being able to talk about what I feel and what I'm thinking. Introspection has been one of my hardest skills to acquire. Like, I do not allow my brain to go deeper, and that's why lately I created a schedule for myself, like where I manage my time, which helps me feel so much better. Like, maybe I have some sort of sense and somewhere that I'm needed. My suggestion would be to try and schedule your day and force yourself to have time to meditate, as I had tried to do. Sometimes my meditation is as simple as when I'm washing dishes, or if I'm sweeping or cleaning up the house, and I'll have these conversations with myself. But it's also good to talk to someone. be it someone you trust like a friend or your partner, you know. Yeah, because sometimes it's really hard to talk about your feelings to your family because you feel like, gosh, I'm burdening everyone with my drama, you know. That's what getting globular sensation, because it's so emotional for me to talk about this. So that's what I've been dealing with. And another pastor that I watched, I forget his name, but I'll link his channel down below. Another pastor that I watched was talking about taking spiritual vitamins, and how we're so focused on, yes, let me do yoga, let me work out, let me eat right, but what about what's happening spiritually within yourself, be it ancestry or be it religion, you know, whatever you connect to. Even if you connect to both, you can be honest with yourself and connect through those things, be it reading the Bible, be it praying, be it you know, just introspection, giving yourself time to go into your head and have these conversations that you might not want to have with other people because you might feel judged and you might feel rejected. So my encouragement to everyone that's been dealing with and is dealing with mental health issues is to take those spiritual vitamins, you know. Just trying to keep afloat, you know, head above the water type of situation, because it can be hard. It can be hard, and it is hard. And that's what I'm going to tell anyone that's dealing, whether they do work or they don't work, is that talk to yourself sometimes. A lot of us as young people are actually dealing, and old people, you know, and old people. Why do you think there's drunken uncles and aunts and people just doing all reckless things? Because of our mental issues and us not wanting to accept that we have them. Being realistic with yourself about the situation and then trying to find solutions to your problems will help you so much, because running away from the issue is what gets us in trouble. Yeah, man, it's a daily struggle. It is a daily struggle. I'm just looking to the side because I want to see if I'm doing it right. That's my encouragement. But my plan is now to not have a plan, because I'm a control freak. I like things being done. I'm a Capricorn. First of all, I'm a Capricorn, and I didn't know the correlation between our zodiacs and our mental state, you know, because apparently Capricorns are control freaks and they want things done their way or the highway, like, you know what I mean. And I realized that about myself, that my greatest lesson in this life is one, patience, because clearly I do not have that. And the minute something doesn't happen according to my time in my way, I automatically think like the world is against me. I guess this is my time to try find myself, because I've also struggled with myself and my truth, you know, in a sense. Like, fine, I know my orientation, and that's for me personally, but also beyond my orientation and who I relate with, who am I, you know. I need to look at ego now, because I've always kind of looked within, oh yes, I know myself and all those things, but then who am I really when I put ego aside, to myself, and not the portrayal of who I am to the world? It is hard. It is hard to try figure out your purpose. It's hard to try figure out your passions. You're dibbling and dabbling in everything. And for me, because I am the last born, I have really struggled with identity, in a sense of what I'm good at. And I've always struggled with the fact of whether I was mimicking what I saw around me, like my sisters. And that's why also I dated guys at some point in my life, because I felt these societal pressures, especially during Pride Month. I reflect on these type of topics because, you know, people would say don't claim certain orientations or labels, and but you work so hard to find that and to know who you are. So I feel like it's imperative to own who you are. And for me, then my biggest struggle after that was, and still is, trying to figure out what my calling is in this life. Yes, I am a teacher by profession. My certificate says that, but who am I beyond? You know, Pastor Stephen was also talking about, like, who are you beyond your title? You know, so your ego, beyond ego, who are you? Yeah, I've just been dealing with accepting the fact that I can't get new makeup because I'm broke. Broke but not broken. I can't get new clothes, new hair. Like, when I started my channel, I was like, you know what? I think the first official video before, like, all the other ones I did years ago were videos aimed at traveling and stuff like that. So the first place I'd gone to was Qatar to go visit my sister and her family. And I was just like, I'm gonna be on a roll. South African girl takes over Asia. All those good things that I wanted to document, and what I had been passionate about for so long. Things aren't going the way that I was planning from the time that I started this channel. And then financially now I can't do other things that I want to do, like direct my channel in a new way, in a new light. Finding our passions is what we are trying to do this year. Finding what we enjoy. I found that maybe that's where, you know, the spirits are trying to, the direction that they're trying to sway me in is to try and find what I'm passionate about truly and honestly, and what I'm good at truly and honestly, and not shadowing maybe my sisters or something like that. So I'm gonna use this bright color just, you know, to make it pop a bit. Yeah, I've just been really struggling. I won't even lie to y'all. And I'm trying to find a direction for this channel, and I mean, join me on the ride. For those that watch, just knowing that there's always somebody that can listen, you know, that can hear you out is so great. Because sometimes it can get really lonely in these streets. Nobody has the time to be listening to you go on sometimes in your personal life about your mental health, and also talking to a professional for those that can afford it. A friend of mine was actually talking about trying and finding pro bono psychologists in Johannesburg. I used to go to a psychologist after my episode at tertiary, when I was still at DUT, and then I went once and stopped. Oh, that's cute. It was triggering for me. I'm hoping I can get this right because it's a bit dry now. In a way, I kind of, when it comes to going and seeing someone, I feel like just do your research and know what will feel comfortable for you, and yeah, then open yourself up to that, you know what I mean? Open yourself up to seeing someone and talking to someone about those issues. I don't even know where I was because my battery died. But yeah, so I was one of those people that loved thrifting and finding the sales and all of that stuff. Yeah, so I feel like like as I am now, I don't have that much, but I'm fortunate enough to have what I have, and I appreciate everything that my loved ones have been able to provide for me, and as well as the provider, you know. So I want to help all the other people, guys and girls, who actually don't know where to go for sales and specials and all that jazz, who want to look good like everybody else, because we are living in a world where we are in a way keeping up with the Joneses. You want to be like other people. You don't want to manje ngoba usebenzi sesiyakudabukela nje uyadabukisa. No, we want to look good, we want to feel good, you know. We can't look like our problems, and you know, who knows, because I was trying to be in a tongue in Dubai on a yacht, you know. But only God knows, only God knows why things turn out the way they do. But you know what, we cannot be our struggles. So your struggles do not define you. In a sense, you do not belong to your struggles, you do not belong to your illness. You are not a you are not depression. Zifuna ukuba kuma-thongs in Dubai not. So you know what, that's what I'm always happy about, is that even when I'm feeling down, I'll just do my face and do my hair, and as best as I can, and with whatever I have, and try feel my best and not look like my problems at all ever. That's been my struggle. What about you? What have you been going through? How are you? You know, there's people that just go in and start talking about their problems without asking you how you are. How are you? How are you doing? How are you keeping up? How's life been? Oh, like Jerry Springer always used to say, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, or something cheesy like that. Like, I felt like, you know, Jerry Springer was the one. Like, he just knew what to say. This is what it gives. I actually used this Perfect Touch spray, and it works just as well as got to be. Look, not coming off. We're giving rich girl going to Coachella. We're giving rich girl going to Coachella and asking her dad for the credit card. Like, Dad, can I have your credit card? I want to go to Coachella or Splash Share. This is giving, yeah, it's giving Courtney love, you know.